Welcome to the Bettis Musgrove Show, the podcast where personal injury legal expertise meets real-world advice to empower and protect you. Join us as we delve into the critical aspects of personal injury cases, break down legal jargon into actionable insights, and share essential safety tips to help you navigate life's unexpected moments. And now, here are your hosts, Spencer Bettis and Ben Musgrove.
Well, welcome to episode number 13 of the Bettis Musgrove Show. As always, I'm Ben Musgrove. This is my law partner, Spencer Bettis. We own and operate a boutique law firm here in Cumming, Georgia that specializes in personal injury. We started this podcast earlier in the year just to give people an idea of who we are, what personal injury law is, kind of what we do on a day-to-day basis. And we've transitioned that podcast a little bit into community involvement. We've talked with a lot of people here in the county already who are involved with local politics and local organizations. We just finished up a series on the city of Cumming, and we are now transitioning into part one of our series on nonprofit organizations and other community involvement. And we're thrilled to be joined today by Miss Abby Otwell. So, Abby, thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
She is a longtime Forsyth County resident and a part of Keystone Village that she's going to tell us a little bit about. So, Abby, why don't you kick this thing off for us? Just tell us who you are, where you came from. That's what.
Awesome. So, like Ben said, I'm a lifelong resident of Forsyth County. I graduated from West Forsyth High School in 2013. Then I got my undergrad from the University of Georgia and my master's degree from Georgia State. I moved right back to Cumming. I married my husband, Jacob, and we have one son named Hudson. He's 18 months old, and then we have a little girl on the way in January.
That's awesome. Congrats.
Thank you. We're excited.
And you said, so you're a lifelong resident. You said you've got generations of your family that are from here.
I do.
Your husband as well goes back a long way.
Absolutely.
Forsyth County royalty.
Yeah, you don't get more local than we are, but we love Forsyth County. We really have a heart for the community.
That's all. When's the baby due?
January 3rd is my due date.
All right, coming up.
Yeah. It's also my brother's birthday, so we'll see how that pans out.
Very nice. Spence, what you got?
Yeah. So let's talk a little bit about your work history.
Yeah.
Where'd you start? What got you to where you're at now? And where are you now?
Absolutely. So I have been working in disability for the last decade. It's not something I grew up around or really knew much about. And then when I was a senior in college, my internship ended up being at a day program in Commerce, Georgia. And if you're not familiar with what a day program is, it's basically after high school where adults with disabilities can go. Okay. And it's where they continue lifelong learning skills. They learn to, be a part of the community, how to cook, just independent living skills is what the focus of a good day program is. And I was so upset when I got placed there. I didn't want to do it. I called my mom so upset. I wanted to work in foster care. And then after one day at this day program, I was like, this is my jam. I don't want to do anything else. I had so much fun. And really, the folks you encounter at a day program, they just are like the salt of the earth, the light of the world. They're just amazing. Yep. So I ended up doing that, graduated, and decided I wanted to get my master's degree, so did that for a year. And then it's funny, I ended up in a wedding with Hutch Bennett, who is Lisa Bennett's son, and somehow we got to talking about this, and he's like, you need to meet my mom. So we set up a meeting. She was the director at Creative Enterprises at the time. I wanted to open my own day program, and she was like, no, just come here. And then the rest is history. She's the best mentor ever. And I worked at Creative Enterprises for 5 years until I had my son.
Okay.
So had my son, did the stay-at-home mom thing, still doing the stay-at-home mom thing, but just I have this passion for this group, and I just needed to be involved. Yeah. So the reason I love Keystone so much is because it's also two moms who are just on a mission to do right by their kids. And I joined forces with them, and I'm working from home, running their social media and doing their fundraising now.
Yeah. That's a big part of the reason we're here is to talk about Keystone Village.
Yes.
What is it?
So Keystone Village, it's sad to say that Forsyth County, with as much money as this area has,
right,
has pretty much nothing for adults with disabilities. People move here for our school system, especially when they have children with disabilities. Our school system is phenomenal. And then they graduate, the bus stops coming, what happens to their kids?
Yeah.
So we do have Creative Enterprises and a few other day programs in the area, which has only happened over the last 10 years. And now what happens to these aging parents, or, if they don't have siblings to take care of them, what happens to these adults?
Right.
that's where Keystone steps in. So Keystone is going to be a residential community for adults with intellectual disabilities or physical disabilities in the coming area.
Okay. How many people do you guys have enrolled?
So we're not open to a waiting list yet. We are hoping to serve 80 to 90 clients whenever it's all said and done. But I'm telling you, the second we open, we'll be full and we'll need phase 2.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I mean, there just is such a need in the area. At Creative Forsyth right now alone, they're over 150 clients. Wow. And there's still, people calling every day.
So you guys are just in the beginning phases, startup trying to get going.
So we have land that we're waiting for the conveyance on to be able to say that that's for sure. Mm-hmm. But it's off Marset Parkway, off Setting Down. It's nestled in Hemingway Farms, a development, and they have given us 8 acres. Okay. So we feel pretty confident that part is going to go through. Yeah. And then we need $20 million to put up the infrastructure.
$20 million?
Yeah.
Huh?
Just a small goal.
With our 15 viewers, we'll raise That's awesome.
Yeah.
So when do you hope to launch by?
So if everything goes just according to plan, and
right.
there's no, you know how it is, we hope to open the doors in the spring of 27.
Okay.
So it's a lofty goal, but I think that we can get there.
Couple of years, $20 million, and building.
The development is moving forward, right? And so we'll use it's Meritage Homes. We'll use that builder. So it's just the money. But people look at me like I have 6 heads and I'm crazy. God takes care of this group, and I 100%. Really believe that the money will come.
Yeah. I've done some work with some folks from Meritage Homes. There's some really good people that work there.
They're amazing people.
Yeah.
What will the development look like?
So it's cottage style housing, and the goal is we want these families to feel secure when they're sending their loved ones there, and we don't want it to be, something happens and they have to leave. The goal is that if they want to come there and age there and live there forever, they can do that. Okay. So phase 1 is looking a lot like people who might just need some minor oversight, checking in on them. Phase 2 is going to be, we need a little bit more, maybe like during the awake hours, we need staff in the home. And then phase 3 is going to be more like your 24/7 care. Okay. But there's a lot of red tape in the state of Georgia that they don't necessarily want places like this. So we're having to, work through some of that, and that's some of the holdup too.
What's something comparable, not in the county, obviously, but in the state? Like, where would someone like this ordinarily go for help?
So that's the thing. There's not a ton of places. There's a group called Just People in Flowery Branch. There's a group called Annandale down towards Roswell. But the thing that sets Keystone apart is we don't want parents to have to pay for this out of pocket. We want to be able to utilize something called the Medicaid waiver, which is what these folks get to go to day programs and things like that. There's a huge waiting list. That's a whole other issue itself. But it's hard to access that money to live somewhere. And that's what we're trying to do. These other programs are private pay, and they can be anywhere from $5,000 to $6,000 a month. It's just, you can't do that long term.
Right.
So that's what the goal of Keystone is.
I think that's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What are some of the plans you guys have for fundraising right now?
So, one, just go online and give us all your money. That would be the easiest thing for somebody to do.
Yeah.
But no, we have a car show coming up December 7th. It's going to be at South Forsyth High School, I believe. But you can check out Keystone's page to see more about that. And then we have a big event coming up in February that is called Bourbon Bags and Bling. It's February 7th. We have not launched the page where you can buy tickets yet, but you can check back on keystonevillage.org to find that soon. It's going to be at the Metropolitan Club, and we'll be having a band, a nice dinner, and a silent auction that'll be high-end bags, high-end bourbon, jewelry, and then some trips and things like that. So we're still in need of auction items. So that's one thing people can do for us. If you have something that we can auction off, we'd love to get into contact with you. And then we just need people to come to the event. It's going to be a fun night.
And you all did a concert at the City Center here recently?
Yes.
Okay.
We did just do a concert at the City Center. We raised about $65,000 doing that. We were able to raffle off a golf cart, which people loved. Yeah. And the band was great, and that was the North Forsyth 400 Rotary Club that did that for us.
That's my club.
Shout out Spencer.
That's awesome. $65,000 in one concert.
Yes. It was amazing.
Jeez. Yeah, you're going to get $20 million in no time.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's going to fall out of the sky.
That's cool. That was cool. Well, what can people in the general public do anything to sort of advocate for you guys to help push this forward other than donating money?
Yeah, so one thing that I think is super important, like I said, people who don't have disabilities in their family don't understand the needs and the things that these families go through. And once you see it, it's kind of one of those things that you can't turn your back to. You're like, we've got to do something about this, especially when it's in our backyard, you know. So one thing that I just like to do is just open the conversation. If you have questions about it, you know, reach out to us. We're happy to answer them. But besides that, obviously, monetary donations is really the biggest thing that we need. And just praying for us, because we're in this for the long haul, and, you know, we'll take all the prayers that we can get.
Sure.
Yeah.
I know Spencer saw it a lot on the probate side of things, working with people who needed a guardian ad litem or a conservator or whatever the case was, if they couldn't take care of their own finances. And obviously on the personal injury side, we see it all the time where somebody's in a bad wreck or has a catastrophic injury and then they're disabled forever. And the number one concern from parents and spouses and everything else is, what happens when I die? How are they going to be taken care of? How do we make sure this money's structured out so that they have the care they need when they're 75, 85 years old and I'm not here to do it? Massive concern. And I can imagine a lot of the parents that will be sending their kids to your program are in that same wheelhouse where they're just like, well, we would love for them to get these life skills and have somewhere to go, but at the same time, we can't afford to pay $6,000 a month. So
Right.
I think it's awesome. I really do.
There's also, like, this is already their community. So why do we have to ship them elsewhere for them to have a place to live and be safe? They already have lives here. Like, it's important for them to get to stay a part of their own community. And I can't tell you how many times when I worked at Creative, I would have parents tell me at their yearly meetings that their prayer is that they live one day longer than their child.
Yeah.
Because
Which is awful.
it's awful. As a mom, I cannot imagine having that thought in the back of my mind.
Right.
You know, what's going to happen to my child? Who's going to take care of them the way that I do? It just shouldn't be something people have to face, but it is. So I really think that Keystone will take care of that issue, at least for a small group in Forsyth County.
Well, and also, I mean, it takes I don't want to call it a burden, that's a terrible word to use, but it takes the need for the state to take care of these people later on. They have somewhere to go. Obviously, there's a financial component the state may have to kick in, but you're not having to house them in a facility and, you know, that type of thing, that they can come to you guys. And
And they'll be able to have lives at Keystone. Yeah. So, you know, we'll transport them to day programs or to work. A lot of them have jobs and contribute to the community. So that's something that we want to continue when they live at Keystone.
Yeah. Well, tell us how the whole concept got started.
So the concept got started, like I said, is a couple moms on a mission. Tammy Miller, who her story is absolutely incredible. She's a mom to 12. Wow. Yes, 5 biological and 6 adopted. 5 of the 6 adopted are special needs. Their family is amazing, and she's just the kindest, warmest person. You probably know some of her kids if you saw them. Patrick, her son, used to work at Chick-fil-A, and I call him the mayor. Like, we go places with him, and I'm like, Patrick, when you're done signing autographs, you just come join the rest of us, because this is insane. But so there's Tammy, and then there's Beth. Beth also has an adopted son with special needs. Okay. And so, like I said, I connected with both of them at Creative. But they actually were at a funeral for one of the Creative clients and met in the parking lot and started just talking about this issue. And that was 3.5 years ago. And here they are, blazing this trail that's never been blazed before. And when you hear their stories, you're like, I have to help you. I can't, you know, we have to do this. So they're amazing. And there's been stories at Creative, too. Like, we had one gentleman who his only living relative was his sister. And they were in some financial strain. So they were living at a hotel in Forsyth County. He didn't show up for day program one day. And so we kind of just felt a little weird about it. Right. So we start calling the sister. She's not answering the phone. And then Lisa Bennett, who I was speaking of, she's a rebel for a good cause. She just goes to the hotel and gets the maintenance man to let her in. Well, this was on a Monday. The last time we had seen this gentleman was on a Friday. He was in the hotel room with his sister, and she was dead. Oh, no. We don't know how long he had been in there with her. I mean, we knew nothing. So we get him out. Obviously, we get things taken care of. And then the state's only option for the gentleman is to send him to the north Georgia. And we're talking about a person who's mentally 4 or 5. And we're like, you cannot do that to him. That's ripping him away from this program and the only other people that he knows. So we ended up as a staff passing him around for 6 weeks, and he lived with each one of us, and, until we could find somebody locally who was willing to let him move in permanently. Wow. But again, that's just another story of things you don't think about if you aren't a part of this, and why Keystone is needed so bad. And so Tammy and Beth also had firsthand seats to this and saw it. And I think that just even more so, like, stories like that are just setting them on fire. Like, we have to get this done. A million people have told them no, and they're like, okay, we'll just go a different direction. Yeah. So it's just been amazing to watch.
Well, you're in this county, with just the affluence or whatever you want to call it, this county has, this is a great place for it.
Yes. There's no reason to not have it here. Yeah.
I don't know what but the number of Forsyth County residents are that have disabilities that need this kind of care, but it's growing with the county.
Absolutely. We just did a survey, and I couldn't tell you the exact numbers, but I can tell you in 24 hours of releasing the survey, 250 people had filled it out. And that was just like sharing it on Facebook and do that kind of thing. And it was just for families with someone who had special needs in it, so that we can kind of collect that data and see the group that we're dealing with. Mm-hmm. And, it really just... I can't even put a number on it because I know there's families that we're not reaching.
Yeah. Well, and we talked about the residential component of it and sort of long term. Will there be a day component to it as well?
So the state does not want us to have a day program on the same facility as where they live because they don't want it to be institutionalized. The state of Georgia doesn't like anything around that concept, which I'm against institutionalization as well. But there are some things that just work out better, in real life than they do on paper. Right. But no, they will be transported to whatever day program they choose to be a part of. So they have some options for that in Forsyth County now.
Yeah. Do you think when you guys get up and going, that could create kind of a roadmap for other facilities in the state?
That's our hope.
Yeah.
We hope that this won't be the only Keystone in the state of Georgia or across the nation. There are some other states who do it pretty well. But like I said, we're not really finding anything that we want to mirror in the terms of financial assistance. Like, it's all just private pay. Yeah. So that's really the hurdle that we're jumping over. But yes, we would love to be kind of the guide for other communities to do something like Keystone. Yeah.
I listened to a podcast the other day about a guy that started a sort of a village, I guess you would call it, for homeless people out in Texas. And it's grown into, like you said, a roadmap, and now the other states are adopting it and using it. It's incredible. So just takes that one little spark.
Just takes a couple moms, I'm telling you.
A couple motivated moms.
Yes, you can't stop them.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yep.
Well, let's talk about you a little bit more.
Okay.
So you said UGA social work? That was your degree? What was your master's degree in?
Social work.
Okay. How does that translate into what you're doing now with Keystone?
Yeah, so the way that I'm able to, I call the clients my friends because they are my friends, but the way that I'm able to impact not just them but their families and the ripple effect, I think that has gone back a lot to my social work degree because I'm able to put on like a lot of different hats. And oftentimes with these families, you'll see they have no support. So the staff at Creative, or what will be the staff at Keystone, is branches of their family, right? So we've dealt with a lot of things outside of just issues at the day program or, things going on. We're like involved in these families' everyday lives. Right. A lot of times if they have something happen, we're the first people they call. What do we do? How can you help? That kind of thing. So having a degree in social work has helped me kind of broaden my horizon on how we can serve these families.
Absolutely. Where did you develop your leadership skills?
I'm telling you, I keep talking about Lisa Bennett. She has been the best mentor for me. And so coming into disability, I was 22 when I started working at Creative. I didn't know. Right. It was my first real job. And just watching her interact with these families and interact with the staff, I learned tons from her. I cannot advocate more for young adults to get a good mentor because you learn the most that way, or at least Absolutely. I do. Yeah. And so I appreciated her pouring into me the way that she did.
What specifically about Lisa do you like in terms of her leadership ability?
Well, I like that she'll tell you how it is. She's not a sugarcoater. But I also just like that she's not afraid to make a hard decision if it's the right decision. She does not take the easy way out. She'll go above and beyond to make sure what is the right thing is what happens. Yeah. So I've seen her to go to bat for a lot of families in this county. Really make a difference.
That's awesome.
Yep.
We need more people like her.
We really do. Really do. And Tammy and Beth, for that matter, because they don't care if people tell them no.
Yeah.
We're still going to do it.
Something I've kind of seen in the nonprofit world is you got to get used to being told no.
Yes. You have to get creative.
And don't let it phase you.
Yep.
Yeah.
And not everybody's going to like your cause, you know.
Sure.
So you kind of have to get some tough skin.
Yeah.
Well, and one thing we talked about too with our past couple of guests is, I mean, this county's full of nonprofits. Everybody has their cause, right? And
Right.
everybody wants to support their cause, which is awesome. But you got to find something that you're passionate about.
Right.
And that's how you get involved. So, I mean, clearly you found yours.
Right. Yep, I did.
I think it's wonderful when somebody finds what they're supposed to do.
Yes.
I don't know if I've ever found what I'm supposed to do. It's coming. One day that door's just going to open.
Well, hey, maybe you need to come visit Creative in Keystone.
Yeah.
Let's get you on board with us.
I like it. I like it.
They're hard to say no to, for sure.
That's it. What else you got, Spence?
Well, how can people get involved with Keystone?
Yeah. So follow us on Facebook and on Instagram. We're constantly posting about events that we're having in the community.
Just Keystone Village on those pages?
Yes. And then keystonevillage.org is our website.
Okay.
Like I said, we're looking for items to auction off. So if any individual or businesses have things that they think might be valuable to us, we'd love to talk to you. And then just getting involved as in like learning about this community and the need in the community, I think is a big thing too. I did just see on Facebook, PJ Gervin invited me to it. They're doing a city council for disability.
Yep. The Mayor's Council.
Mayor's Council, yeah.
And
I think you
it's
talked
this
about
Wednesday night at 6, so we'll be there. If anybody wants to come learn some more, we'll probably have some parents there too.
Very cool.
Which you learn the most about this group from the parents. But, just getting involved in ways like that and just befriending these people when you see them out in the community.
Once you guys break ground, do you think there will be an opportunity for people to volunteer their actual time and come in and do things, or is that more?
Absolutely. Yeah. And some of that we're still carving out on what that's going to look like. Sure. And then if you have any, I know that we need help with some graphic design stuff for our website. If you have any talents like that you feel like a nonprofit that's just starting could use, please contact us.
Absolutely. The Keystone Village Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, anything like that?
Nope.
Or I guess X, not Twitter.
No, we're just Facebook, Instagram, and then our website.
Okay.
Yep.
Awesome.
Cool. Well, we're going to do our famous quick fire questions.
All right, let's hear them.
Okay, so the first one, I think I know the answer. Chevy or Ford? And be careful.
To keep my husband, we're going to go Chevy.
Okay.
Good choice. Good choice.
Chain coffee or local coffee shop?
Ooh, local coffee shop.
Which one?
I love Myth and Legend.
Me too. Yeah.
I really do love Myth and Legend.
You can't find Spencer ever at the office. Go over there.
Yeah, that's where he's at.
Sitting in a nook in the back, having his pumpkin spice latte.
Yeah, that's right. No shame about it. That's where I get my work done.
That's his favorite too.
Oh, you outed him. Good to know. Good to know. I'm not alone. All right. So are you a Dogs fan?
Yes.
Okay. Well, season projection is the question, but after Saturday.
Yeah, Horns down.
Yeah, that's right.
down.
That's right.
What a great day.
It was fun, wasn't it? It was my dad's 60th birthday, and he is the biggest dog fan alive.
Okay.
So after the year he's had, getting a new kidney and everything, the beating Texas was the best.
It was awesome.
birthday
Yeah, it was amazing.
ever for him. Yeah, it was a good time.
I got really frustrated watching the game, but the result was fantastic.
Yes. Yeah, y'all could do a whole podcast episode just on that game.
Right.
There's a lot to unpack there.
I don't know if I know any Texas fans. We need to get a Texas fan in here and beat them up a little bit.
I don't think I know any either.
What was the last book you read?
What was the last book I read?
Yeah, Danny.
I have an 18-month-old, so
Okay, yeah.
reading is, on the back burner at this point. The Bible, I guess, was the last book I read.
Always a good answer.
Always a good one.
I've got an 18-month-old as well, in addition to 3 others. So
Yeah, you understand.
I read at midnight if I
Yeah,
read.
yeah.
That's fantastic.
If I'm sitting still enough to read, I'm usually asleep.
Yep. All right, here's one of my favorite questions.
Okay.
Get to have dinner with any historical figure ever. Who is it and why?
Who would it be? This is a cliche answer right now, but it would be Donald Trump at this second.
Okay.
Yeah, I have a lot of questions.
He was just here. You should have
I know. I was so upset. I was telling Jacob, I'm like, you guys don't have any like strings you can pull? I would love to go.
You guys could have gone to McDonald's and
Yeah, we could have.
had a little meal.
Could have.
All right, so last meal you ever get to have, what are you going to eat and where's it from?
It's my dad's homemade chicken nuggets.
Okay.
Yeah, they're delicious.
Chicken nuggets.
Chicken nuggets.
What does he do to them to make them?
I mean, he fries them in Tabasco, like he puts Tabasco in the batter.
Okay.
Delicious. And then he makes something, my family calls it bang bang sauce. It's like sweet and spicy sauce to dip it in.
Like a bang bang shrimp.
Yeah, it's what I asked for my 30th birthday bill tomorrow.
That's right.
Yeah.
Our big 3-0. So I'll tell you, I'll warn you. I just turned 40. 30 messed with me really bad. 40 did not for some reason. I moved in that one gracefully, but 30, I was pretty depressed about it for a minute.
Well, I'm like 30 weeks pregnant. We'll just try again on the celebration next year. 31 will be my celebration.
Now, I will say the decade, 30 to 40, was the best decade of my life.
Yeah.
So you got a lot to look forward to, especially with this coming up. This is going to be great.
Yes.
You got one?
Yeah, favorite thing to do at the end of a stressful day?
Favorite thing to do at the end of the stressful day? Get Hudson laughing, my 18-month-old. I mean, really, it's the best stress relief.
Get Billy laughing.
Yeah, it's the best. Really is the best. He started kissing me right on the lips, too, now, and he'll come and grab my face and shake it and give me a kiss. It's the best part at the end of a stressful day.
Yeah, absolutely.
Can't beat it.
Those last at the end of the day are pretty great. My daughter right now is really into the Ghostbusters song, so she'll just run around dancing, going, Busters. And it's the greatest thing in the world.
So cute.
Favorite vacation spot you visited?
St. Simon's.
I love it.
Yep. I grew up going there every summer, and it really is just my favorite place in the world. Outside of Forsyth County.
Right.
Yeah.
It's kind of morbid, but I've told my wife I intend to die on St.
Yeah, a little bit. I tell Jacob all the time, I'm like, let's just, if you ever retire and leave the dealership, let's just retire there.
It's a glorious place. Food's amazing.
Awesome.
People are great.
Yes.
The beach is all right.
Yeah, the beach is not great, but it just, the pace of life down there was just amazing.
Drive a golf cart around.
Yes.
Watch out for hurricanes, obviously. What's a skill or a hobby you picked up recently?
Skill or a hobby?
Being a mom of an 18-month-old, probably.
Yeah.
Juggling and
Toddler wrangling. I told Jacob I think I could have a job and negotiate like terrorist negotiations at this point with an 18-month-old.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess my hobby right now is just being a mom.
Yep. So I'm a solo dad for the next 4 days. My wife's out of town on work.
We'll pray for you.
Just trying to get them all fed this morning and pack lunch boxes and everything else. And the 18-month-old, if you leave a cabinet unlocked, everything in that cabinet's coming out. It took me an hour after they left just to pick
clean
stuff
it
up
up.
and put it back in the cabinet.
I left, Hudson was with Jacob for an entire day a couple weeks ago. And when I got home, it was like, I don't know, 6:30. He looked at me and he was like, I respect you so much.
You should leave it for 4 days and let it find out.
And he's like, I'm so tired. I was like, I know, and I do this every day.
I normally don't go to bed until midnight. And last night I was in bed at like 9:45. Just roasted.
It's exhausting. Yeah, but it's the best job ever.
Yep. What's one item you can't live without?
Honestly, I hate to say this because I sound like such a millennial, but my phone.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, it's true.
You're not alone.
Yeah. I don't think
I wish I
live
could
without
live
it.
without it.
I know, I do too. And that's why I'm like, it hurts me to say this, but it's my phone.
One of my kids called me out on it Sunday. Like, Dad, quit looking at your phone. I was like, you're right.
Put it down.
Put it
Yeah.
All right. One more. What's your favorite quote or mantra that you live by? Maybe your just favorite quote.
These are some tough questions.
We like to get deep. Bettis Musgrove Show.
Well, growing up, my dad always said our family mantra was work hard, play harder.
Okay.
And I do tend to live my life that way.
I love it.
Yeah. So we'll go.
That's a
with
good one.
Excellent. All right. Well, one more. I said that was last one. This is the last one. What's your favorite podcast?
My favorite podcast is going to be the...
Bettis Musgrove Show?
Yeah.
Partner.
All right.
We made it. All right. So one more time, tell everybody, Facebook, Instagram, Keystone Village.
Yep. KeystoneVillage.org and then Keystone Village on both Facebook and Instagram. You can also stay up to date with us if you go on our website and fill out our Contact Us Now form. It puts you on a rotation to get our newsletter. And that really keeps you plugged in to where we are in the development stages and what events we have coming up.
Got a car show coming up soon.
Yep, December 7th.
Okay. I told you Logan Butler's coming on the next episode, so he's got a pretty cool little car. We'll put it in there.
Get him too. And then Also, I forgot to mention that the month of December, we do an online fundraiser. It's a gingerbread cottage. And so you go online, you can like buy a shingle or buy the door, and you get to see the cottage actually come to life, like in real time. So that's pretty cool. So if you're interested in that, you can also find that on our website.
Yeah, end of the year coming up. It's good time to get donations.
Yes.
So.
Yeah, if you just need a tax write-off, hit us up. We'll take it.
501c3 organization.
We are.
Okay.
Yep.
Cool. Excellent. Well, we will get us a link for the gala. We'll put that up.
Absolutely.
But you guys go check them out. This is an awesome cause. Look forward to watching you guys grow and get this thing.
We're excited. Maybe you guys can have me back when we get the doors open.
Yeah, would love to.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll do one from the village and
Yeah. Oh, that'd be so cool.
do a tour.
I love it.
We'll get Jeff to set that up. I don't know how that works.
I'm sure you can do it.
Don't worry. Awesome. Well, as always, you can find us, bettismusgrove.com, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok at Bettis Musgrove. Podcast played everywhere you get your podcast, so give us a listen. If we can ever be of any assistance to you, family member, friend that's been in a wreck or been hurt by somebody else's negligence, let us know. Happy to help. Until next time, stay safe, stay healthy. God bless.